The holidays are all about sharing with family. Meals, couches, stories, Grandma's secret pecan pie recipe. And now you can also share a cart with Instacart family carts. Everyone can add what they want to one group cart from wherever they are. So you don't have to go from room to room to find out who wants cranberry sauce, or whether you should get mini marshmallows for the yams, or collecting votes for sugar cookies versus shortbread. Just share a cart, and then share the meals and the moments. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. We all know the old saying about teaching a man to fish, and as parents, we want our kids to learn the things that will set them up for success. So, this holiday season, give kids money skills that last well beyond 2024 with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely with parental controls built in. Sign up today at greenlight.com/Wondery. greenlight.com/Wondery.
This is Fixing Famous People, the podcast where 2 reality television producers pitch solutions to save celebrities in dire straits.
But first, let's get to the Pre-Fixe, your weekly pop culture roundup.
Well, Clisteners, you got 2 hoes here, which means the 3rd hoe is you. Merry Clitmas!
You really got me with that one.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
God,
Happiest of
that's
holidays, Clistenership. We love you so much. We've made it. We made it, Joe.
Merry Clitmas.
Yeah, Merry Clitmas. Or some people call it Clitsmas for those of you that have more than one clit. If you do, you should see a doctor, but we want to be inclusive here. Thank you for a wonderful year. And Hanukkah, of course, and Diwali and Kwanzaa and all of it. And Feliz Navidad and Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, as you say in your holiday show, Luigi
Mangione. P.S. It is so GD cold today. I am not wearing a tank top. I couldn't even bring myself to strap it on.
I mean,
I'm like, it's too cold. It's too cold.
Beyond.
The tour is done. We are home. Thank you to everybody who came to the holiday show this year. We both, and Christopher, as many of you know, was able to join for the last few shows. We had the biggest blast meeting so many of you, and we are grateful for you. And we hope that you will come next year, even though we will probably soon have an announcement of us getting out on the road a little before Christmas.
Yeah, probably.
Year,
a Clistener that came to the Boston show brought her clitorally candle for us to sign. And we did sign. And that was dedication is what that was.
Someone brought a Subway Dust t-shirt to one of the performers. I mean, we were signing, we were taking pictures. People were turning looks. I mean, you are a deranged, gorgeous group of people. Please don't ever change and please keep staying with us because
we love you guys. So it was so fun to meet so many people and people that were like genuinely nervous and like starstruck to meet us. And I'm like, we are absolute nobody losers. Like we're just one of you. Like, yes, hello.
It was great. And I will say that the groupie sex in every city was absolute savagery.
I'm sure it was great, Dominic.
What to say? Talk about a holiday gift. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Blake Lively behind tour number 1. What the frick?
Dominic, now you know that I've been reading the actual like court filing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but she's going to take him for every single dollar that he has.
Yeah, I think so too. And for those who've not been paying attention the past couple of days, Blake Lively is suing Justin Baldoni, the director of her recent film, It Ends With Us. You'll recall us speaking about it for many weeks, including when we tried to fix these people a while back. And a very bad picture was painted of her in the press. And she is saying that that bad picture was orchestrated by one Justin Baldoni. And also there's a lot of sexual inappropriation charges associated with this in the workplace.
It's similar to a Lizzo situation where it's like, is she like a rapist? No. Like, did Justin Baldoni like attack her? No. But like sexual harassment, absolutely 100. Like from what she's saying, it's like, ooh, this is bad. And it's compounded by the fact that it's his production company that was making this movie. And so not only is he the director and the other lead of the movie, and his company is the one that's producing this movie. So like if someone has an HR complaint, in theory, they're supposed to be going to like the HR person of his company to complain against him, which doesn't exist. Like there was no, like one of the most damning lines in the thing that I read was like, there was not a like protocol to make a HR complaint at this company, period. Like, not after Harvey Weinstein, honey. Like, you are done for.
Yeah. And
he's
it
done
is,
for.
I mean, she came out guns blazing.
Yeah.
And not moments after this suit drops, the New York Times releases their very extensive article and basically calls Justin Baldoni's people 45 minutes after the suit drops with a list of questions that they just weren't prepared to answer.
Oh, you know, she 100% was like, P.S. New York Times, this is what's going to happen. Like, FYI.
1 bill percent.
Like, which is like God tier. To quote you, goddess tier behavior.
Goddess tier behavior. And so they are, you know, in dribs and drabs, Justin Baldoni's people are releasing statements and remarks like as the days go by. But she caught these people with their pants she's down.
Yeah, this is their power, her and Ryan's power, like coming down on them like a hammer. You know what I mean? This is like an anvil being dropped on them like on Looney Tunes.
And if you have the chance to read through any of the literature about this online, the one thing that really strikes me, and I said in the group text this weekend, was like, I'm reading all these accusations. There are text messages and emails where Blake Lively is basically saying, I have written proof that there was a smear campaign orchestrated against me. And it's so detailed that you think to yourself, what other of my own actual opinions that I have formed based on what I've seen online has been handed to me by somebody? Because we dislike a lot of people, or we don't hold them in high regard. And you wonder, was I told to feel this way because of this masterful PR campaign? And then just moments before we came into this room right now, I don't know if you saw this, Amber Heard releases a statement, and this woman who's named in all of this paperwork, Melissa Nathan, as the PR guru who went after Blake Lively, was apparently hired by Johnny Depp to do the same thing to Amber during their trial.
Yep.
And I'm not embarrassed to say we weren't pro either Amber or Johnny, but we were
Johnny Depp's on the unfixable list, so it's not like we were definitely not pro him.
At the time of the trial, we were definitely like mildly in favor of Johnny Depp over Amber Heard, and I'm now questioning whether or not we should have been. Well, and don't say I hate women, because I will come to your house and smack you in the face, especially if you're a woman.
Well, here's the one thing.
That wasn't it.
Here's the one thing that I will say going against Blake is that, like, because you know that woman, that Melissa Nathan woman, said that like they actually didn't even enact any of the stuff because they didn't need to, because people themselves were going. Like, my biggest knock against her, and I feel that in our future, like maybe in January, we're going to be doing a revisiting Blake Lively episode, just because this is like becoming the biggest news story in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
But all they had to do was dig back to like seeing Blake Lively interact with people that weren't famous on camera and see that she was a mean bitch. You know what I mean? Like, she's not some saint in this situation at all. And I also think that like every single person that I've ever heard has worked with her said that she's an absolute monster.
Everyone. And we should point it out. Like, but this year she definitely had a rough go.
Oh, yeah.
But there were, you know, like her being mean to that non-pregnant woman in that interview. That was a real thing that happened. That this
like she's a bitch. She's a mean person.
She's not an angel. Yeah.
She's also correct in every single thing that she's filing in this suit for. And I loved the amount of like, she's 100% going to win. She set herself up so good to win. Like all the HR shit, like you can't, that's like not like you're fucked. Like you are so fucked. It's not even funny. The fact that there were like multiple other complaints from other people before even Blake said anything. And then Blake went to Sony and was like, come help. Like, I mean, we'll get into it in another episode, I'm sure. But like,
it's way too much to unpack in the Pre-Fixe for sure.
She has so many like facts backing her up that like, it's hard to be like, you can't wave a magic wand and explain this away as much as I was like going into it expecting to do.
And not for nothing, but, you know, when whoever in any fight, politics, show business, life, whoever has the most money is always the person better prepared and is usually the person who wins. And here's the thing, Justin, Ryan Reynolds I don't know that he's a billionaire yet, but he's pretty effing close. I mean, between all of his holdings and the cell phone company and the tequila, like this is a wall of money, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively is his wife, and they are going to run you the fuck over. He should, honestly, Justin Baldoni is going to go bankrupt trying to fight this. He should just throw his hands up and say, I'm done. That's it. Go become a monk. You're done.
Speaking of goddess tier behavior, they had this meeting when they like resumed filming.
Yeah.
And she put all these things in writing that were like, here's all my demands to come back to the set. And one of them was like, Justin cannot enter my dressing room to just cry for an hour or something like that. Like it was like all these slams of stuff that he did that was like so bad. Like it was like no meetings will be had in BL's like trailer where Justin cries.
There's just like they ruined him. They have he's got to be quaking. Like he's
done.
It's just, you know, all this time when they're like sniping at each other while promoting the movie, and he knows full well that she'd lodged legitimate complaints during the movie.
Yeah.
On a movie that's about ending the cycle of domestic violence against women, and that a complaint comes up and they're still trying to make her look like shit. It was a very, very bad decision on his part.
And the other thing is that it is like, when you read it, like I was even thinking back to our episode of it and was like, oh yeah, we made fun of her for that. Oh yeah, this thing. Oh yeah, he was doing this and she was doing that. And it's like, not only was Sony to blame for oh, let's make this about resilience and like, let's make this not about domestic violence in the premiere. And then he went rogue and started talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
why
left
her to twist in the wind. And she's like, show up with your florals and blah, 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 which she was told to do basically. And then they fucked her over deliberately.
Interesting that Sony is not named in this lawsuit, by the way.
If I'm right, they would probably rather have Sony's might behind them against Justin.
True.
And either her or Ryan was probably like, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave you out of this if you tell the whole world that if you back up that Justin cried every day on set.
Yeah. But even there's stories of like the co-president of the company and Justin, like both trying to get into her like dressing room whenever they like, she was like breastfeeding and stuff and like weird shit that it's like, don't do that. Stuff. Also, she's like an A-list celebrity. Like you don't just barge into her. Like he was trying to throw his weight around and like try to make this not look like it was like a fucking senior film in like film school. But it was like his company is how many employees does he his company have? None, right?
I don't know.
They don't have an HR.
One trailer full of people.
They don't even have an HR person. Do you know what I mean? Like there's not even like, it's basically a shell company for him to just like have this movie. And then they just like, Blake's like, what the fuck is this? She's like, I was on Gossip Girl.
This is a big story. And I think it's going to get bigger after the first of the year because like the whole notion, like having how a smear campaign works laid out in legal documents and people like Amber Heard coming forward, like this is going to be, it's going to become a bigger deal. And for the record, I, as the co-host of this podcast, welcome a smear campaign. We will take any publicity. So you can make shit up. You can say you saw me punching children if you want. Smear me. Smear me for the holidays, bitch.
Smear me. Yeah, that's not the first time you've said that. No, and I will say, and again, you know, I love to rail on the like Entertainment Tonight wannabe correspondents on TikTok, but like I try my best to give like a discerning eye to like stuff and not just jump on something and be like, it doesn't add up for me, blah, 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 something to try to just have like a hot take. Like I really do try to give my real professional opinion when we do stuff. Yes. Do we also say stupid jokes to laugh on purpose? Yes. But jokes on all you TikTokers that are like, one person said one thing and so we all just jumped on it to make it this humongous tidal wave of like shit.
Well, as Amber Heard said in her statement today, a lie makes it around the world before the truth has a chance to put her boots on.
Wow. Wow. Honestly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, she also smeared a pillowcase with fecal matter. So let's not. This is not. We're not giving her a Nobel Prize. She's still
they're very similar because again, like, did all this stuff happen to Blake and is she right? Like, in theory, if everything she's alleging, if that all of this is true, like, should she bankrupt this man? 100%.
Yeah.
Is she still a fucking mean person? Yes.
I mean, they're pissed though, because these people don't need money or attention. No. Like she'd survived the smear campaign. She's Blake Lively Reynolds, which is very important. Like
No, this is to like
disservice.
destroy him, which
And they're
sure,
going
do
to.
it. Which do it. Like I'm down. But what I will say, a Norma Ray, she is not, because in all of her like demands that she you got you, didn't it? In all her like list of demands, including he can't cry in front of her anymore.
Union.
It's not like to all the crew. It's like to Blake and her team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the demands were not like the crew must blank, blank, blank. It was like Blake must not see this anymore. Blake must not see this anymore. Not like, so was she like,
He's fucked.
But like for only the people that I employ on the set, not all of the people on the set. So there's an eyebrow raise there too.
We've spent a lot of time on this because it is a big story. I do believe it's going to be bigger next year and it's going to start other conversations.
When it all dropped, like when I tell you that our Instagram was like 75 million
out
DMs,
of control.
Like, did you see this? I had to put up a story being like, guys, we're on it. Don't worry.
So let's move on. We are, of course, in New York City, which is where we record this podcast, which is now the home temporarily of Luigi Louise Mangione. He has arrived and he is in the same facility as Sean P. Diddy Combs. I mean, it's a Hall of Fame, this prison.
I need photos.
It's a pop culture Hall of Fame.
Again, I need them in the yard. I need them as Jen Shah and Theranos. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, now that Luigi and Diddy are in the same prison, they've renamed the building the Ryan Murphy Hall of Miscreants. Is that correct? So they're there. You know, I'm told on TikTok that people are asking New York City theater students to sing Les Mis outside as though Luigi is Jean Valjean.
Please.
If I see that, I will show up there with a flamethrower and annihilate these children.
I want it to happen just because this will not
be a Glee reboot. It will absolutely not be a Glee reboot.
Did you see that there was like yet another mugshot photo of him? And they're like, can they stop taking these beautiful photos of this
Who keeps
murderer?
shaving this man in jail? Who's lining him up? It's pretty fucking amazing. He looks beautiful. It really does. Speaking of Diddy, I mean, I don't know if this even matters anymore. Another day, another suit's been filed. This time, a radio contest winner said that he sexually assaulted her.
What a surprise.
I don't know. For a moment, I thought you said, "What is the prize?" I was like, "Well, the prize was she met Diddy, and it didn't go
well. That wasn't. Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Supposedly, she doesn't remember any of it. So Diddy's lawyer is jumping. Whatever. I mean, it's just. I mean, this was what I was afraid was going to happen because I think. Believe all women. Yes, we believe everyone who says whatever happened at these parties happened. But now all this other shit's piling on. It's going to dilute. They're giving fodder to Diddy's lawyers by like, look how fake all of this is. Because not all of this shit's going to be real. It's not.
I know, but I don't even know if I think that's. I think now it's like it doesn't matter. There's just like he'll be in litigation for the rest of his life.
For sure.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like
he should be in jail though, is the thing. And I feel like a lot of these frivolous lawsuits that come out of nowhere. I almost want like, can we just put him in jail? Like he's going to trial in May. Let's get that taken care of and then let everyone else
and then we're
jump on the
But that's probably what's
later.
happening, is it not? I mean, the federal situation is 100% going to like take precedent to like a civil suit. 100%.
It just seems like too much. It feels deliberate. Like it feels like all these lawsuits are coming out to sort of dilute everything and make it seem like the world's against him because he is adamant. Like his lawyer says he has never sexually assaulted one person, which is a bizarre thing to say, even though we've seen him drag Cassie down a hallway.
No, he's done. There's no way in my mind that this is like, I understand what you're saying. I just simply don't think that in this case, that's what's happening.
Oh.
Like, I don't think that he's.
I hope not.
I don't think it's a diluting. I think it's like the thing that not the offense, LOL, the prosecutors could say is like, look at how many people now that he's in prison and can't like harm them, how many people are coming out from like decades and decades before.
Right.
That's what I think.
I'm going to jump around here because this is this podcast is dropping on Christmas Day. And so far, all we've talked about is like me getting laid on tour and then sexual
lawsuits.
assault.
Coincidence. Yeah.
So let's move on to this most hilarious thing that I read this week was that Jenna Bush Hager, co-host of the 11th hour of the Today Show. Did you read this?
Yes.
That at one point, NBC asked her not to say, "Hey, y'all," on the Today Show because it wasn't the audience. And she was like, I can't not say that. It's who I am. Can you imagine if someone asked us to not say, "Hey, y'all"? It's the Today Show.
Why can't you? And not for nothing.
I don't know.
Like, if anyone's Southern, like, it's her.
It was a very strange article. I mean, it was a very strange. I couldn't even believe that NBC is not like smacking her for saying that. It was such a dumb thing to say to her.
If it was Hoda saying, "Hey y'all," I'd be like, "What's happening?" But like, her dad's name is on the airport, one of the airports.
They're from Texas. Right?
You know
hey
what I mean?
y'all.
Like, what?
Speaking of hey y'all, Britney Spears. It was rumored that there was going to be a Vegas residency in 2025. Apparently, that is not the truth. So, if you are going on one of the websites that is selling tickets to this residency, you are a fool. Put your Apple Pay away. Like it's not until she goes on Instagram and says it. Don't.
Dominic, even after, even after, I need like it to be from like Ticketmaster.com, not because again, she says weird. She's 5 years old, you know.
Yeah,
just like how Hello Kitty's a girl. Like, she's 5 years old. Like, then the next day she's not 5 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if she said I'm going on a world tour, until on BritneySpears.com they're selling tickets or Ticketmaster.com, I'm not believing it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I can't believe you saw my holiday show 4 times.
I know,
you must be able to recite it from tip
I've been singing the songs in my head. I could do it. I could just be you and do it.
Casting news this week. I mean, Jared Joao Leto is playing Skeletor in the upcoming Masters of the Universe film. I am thrilled about this for a billion reasons.
We're the first in line. In line to see it. Did in our group text, all of us collectively said, we are scared for the rest of the cast? Yes.
We are going to the screening that Joao will be at. If I have to kill someone, we're going to the screening.
If I have to dress up as a barista herself with a fucking.
I might have sat through a J-Lo at Unstoppable premiere. Like that walked so I could run to Joao as Skeletor. He's going to kill someone. He's going to accidentally kill 100%. The actress playing She-Ra because he's going to be method the whole time.
And he's going to like pile drive her through a table and she's going to like snap her, like for real. This is a menace. You're giving a menace to society, like full reign to be an actual menace. And I'm scared.
It is funny though. I mean, Skeletor and the Joker, not the same person, but similar enough that this is a strange choice in that vein to me.
Well, and also they're like, oh, how cunty can we be about this? Like, oh, let's make Jared Leto be Skeletor. Do you know what I mean? They knew exactly what they were doing because they knew that people like 2 idiot faggots like us would be like jizzing their pants over this.
And we are. I mean, at the end of the day, it's actually a pretty good choice. Like acting wise, I think he will chew this role up and spit it in our faces.
He's gonna do great. Yeah. Or will someone lose their life in the process?
As long as they still release the movie. Wendy Williams spotted looking lovely and in public at her son's graduation. She is, she gets around with a scooter. She doesn't look like the old Wendy, but she certainly looks a little bit better than she did in that heinous documentary from last year. So, and it was very touching. She cried when her son graduated, and there have been other videos online of their celebration, and she seems happy. She's surrounded by her family, which is exactly where someone in her position belongs. They seem much more protective of her than whoever was supposed to be protecting her during the documentary. And that is that. I mean, she's suffering from an illness, which is obvious. And when I was looking at the videos, I know people are like, oh, this happened to her because she had a breakdown because of her husband. I think she's ill. I think she's just ill. Like people get dementia. There's never a convenient time to get it. And I think she just, she just drew the short straw with fate. I mean, and that's just what happened. But she looked lovely and she looked, well, even though she obviously can't get around.
No, like for what we like in our mind's eye would like picture it being like we're feeling good.
Yeah, better than with the crooked wig in the documentary that no one like wanted to fix, sitting there with fucking Black China.
Yeah, Black China herself.
Jesus H.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, a hot rumor went around this weekend that this coming weekend after Christmas, he and Lauren Sanchez would be having a $600 million wedding in Aspen. He has since come forth and denied that. I don't care if they get married or not. It doesn't mean anything to me. They're both independently wealthy and I don't give a shit. I was just stuck on the figure of $600 million and I was trying to break down.
Why would you ever?
Why would you ever spend that much money on anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. There are nations that don't have that much money.
No, exactly. No, it's like, do you want to like have the people of America / the world like turn on you forever? Do that.
Right. I'm surprised actually that she isn't playing Skeletor. I'm sorry, move on. It was terrible.
I think she is like, she needs to go on botched like I don't even, is there a new botched for like person that needs like a complete new face?
She's jokerish. And yes, I'm talking about a woman's face. It's jokerish. It's too much.
And everyone's like, she looks great. I'm like, does she? Meanwhile, he's like a human penis. Like he's so ugly and gross. Yeah. Like he literally looks like a walking genitalia, and not in the fun way, Dominic.
She could look like Jabba the Hutt molded from actual human shit, but whatever she's doing, she landed the world's richest man. So the fuck do we know?
Well, we know what she's doing. Are they going to get married? Do you think? I don't think.
I don't know.
He should not.
What's the point, really? I mean, what's the point?
No.
She has a shitload of money. It's not like her and her kids need him.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember why.
Really.
No, she does. She has other money. She's her own.
Okay. I mean, not Bezos money, but sure.
No, she wasn't like a barista. He didn't meet her at the DMV. Like she was already like, I believe her ex-husband was an agent, like a very powerful agent.
Oh, got it. Okay.
She also does, it's escaping me. I'm not trying to minimize whatever she does, but she has a job. Yeah. She has her own money. Jennifer Love Hewitt is appearing in the sequel no one asked for to I Know What You Did Last Summer. And apparently there was a rumor of a feud with Sarah Michelle, who was also in that movie, but who is not returning for the sequel. And when Sarah Michelle Gellar was on the red carpet for something, someone asked her about it. And her response, she basically just said, like, I have nothing to do with that movie, and turned around and walked away. When they asked her about this sequel, that the internet went wild that Buffy and J-Love were having some sort of beef.
They should be teaming up together. Because they're basically the same person. I know they're not. Tom, don't kill us. But like, they're not the same person. But like, in my mind, like they fill the same role. Yeah. And if they would team up, that would be fun.
Everyone who loves Buffy is going to come to your house with torches for comparing her to literally anybody, but particularly J-Love Hewitt.
But do you know what I'm saying? Are they nemesis or no?
Well, they're saying no. They're saying that they're not.
I don't know what team up means, but like whatever that means to them, if they did that, I would think that would be fun.
Well, anything from scissoring to just having a coffee, I think they should team up no matter what.
Being in a Lifetime movie together.
Sure. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar died in the original. Like, I think her character was killed, and that's why she's not in the sequel. I could be wrong. I do know that Freddie Prinze Jr., who is Mr. Buffy, will be in the sequel with J-Love Hewitt. So that's why Sarah Michelle was like, everybody calm down. My husband's in this movie. I'm not being a dick about it. You just misinterpreted. I had RBF on the runway, on the red carpet.
Yeah. Wait, did you see that in this article about the Bezos wedding? Mm-hmm. Not only was it alleged that they were going to be doing it at Kevin Costner's like 160-acre Dunbar ranch, but then also in his tweet saying that they're not getting married, he said, the whole thing is completely false. None of this is happening. The old adage, don't believe everything you read, is even more true today than it has ever been. Now lies can get all the way around the world before the truth can get its pants on.
Wait, so is he quoting Amber Heard, or did Amber Heard quote him?
Did they have the same
PR
person that wrote this?
They have the same crisis team. Yeah. All right, moving right along. Jen Shaw, she of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, is apparently corresponding in jail with Renee Graciano from Mob Wives. Not sure what this pen pal situation is.
Love that. Like, can we get like jail wives when they both have to get out? Is Renee in prison?
I have no idea. Just in her own emotions, I believe she's in her own prison. Staten Island is a prison in and of itself. The other Jen Shaw story, because you can't ever have just one, is that when the movie of her life is eventually made, she wants Kim Kardashian to play her.
Okay, let's unpack. Okay, let's go line by line with this, Dominic. Okay, Renee is not in prison.
Right.
She is, but she is outside writing to Jen Shaw. Again, if Jen comes out of prison, they could reboot Mob Wives. Or have it be like Crime Wives, Jail Wives, something like that. Even just Mob Wives. Because Jen could join the cast and that would reinvigorate all those ladies.
Yeah.
Period. Right? We'd all be watching.
No one thinks otherwise. Yeah.
2.
It's going to be a Teresa situation. Like when she got out, there was just no question. They'll bend over backwards 100%. To accommodate. Bravo will do the same thing for Jen Shaw.
I don't think so.
Because of the crime?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that she has to I don't think Jen would come back. I think that she would go to a new show.
I don't know. They let Erica Jane on Beverly Hills. I know she's supposedly clean, but the crimes that Tom committed were kind of similar to Jen Shaw.
I know, but she then left him and was like, I'm gone. She's still on my shit list, and I think she's going down soon. That might be in my predictions episode that shit's going to go down with her. But I don't think, no. I foresee Jen going to some other show and it's like her, but like, wouldn't you want to see her and Renee bopping around?
You mean like Phaedra, and then take the wide left and then end up back on Salt
and like
Lake
try to have to.
10 years?
She's gonna have to do a lot of rehab of her image to get back to.
Well, may
SLC.
I introduce you to season 4 of Traitors, perhaps? That
maybe.
seems like right up her alley.
However, okay.
She still has time left to serve, though, right?
Yeah,
she's
not getting out soon, I don't think. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Why would you ever?
Why would I not want to see, like, I'm not going to lie. I would watch this Kim Kardashian playing her in a biopic.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of the right level of person to do this because, like, who cares
anything?
About Jen
I watched Atlas twice. Like, give me a fucking break.
Like, normally,
I'll scream about it, but we're gonna watch it.
Like, I should come down on her for saying Kim Kardashian should play me, but like, I'm like, no, it is the correct casting.
So I was told by the internet that Justin Timberlake had a wardrobe malfunction. And I looked at this video. Do I see him wearing a harness in concert and it's too tight or didn't detach or whatever? And like, while we're here, I would like to say something publicly to those of you who make your Instagram stories have a green circle around it as though there's adult content. If I click on your green hued Instagram story and I don't at least see Bush, I'm blocking you. Like, it's false advertising. If it's adult content, I don't want it to be someone saying the word bitch. I want it to be like pubes or nip or something. If you're going to advertise it as adult content, make it adult content.
Nowadays, you can't even like swear in your own Instagram story.
Is that right?
It like says like, you might get flagged for this. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. If I want to say, I'm not calling someone a bitch. If I'm like, bitch, what's this? Like, it's weird. I don't like it.
Well, we're going to have a problem when we start releasing clips from the holiday show.
Yeah, we sure are.
I say
fuck
about as much as the in that show. So
100%. That's my life is that saying. Yeah. However, despite all the naysaying that you're saying, Dominic, when I saw the package that was displayed up in front of me, I wasn't shocked, but I wasn't impressed. I'm going to tell you that much.
I wasn't impressed either.
No, I was like, yeah, of course you have a little dick. Like, what a surprise.
But, in his defense, and far be it for me to ever defend Justin Timberlake, but, I mean, we can all do a little puppetry of the penis with our junk. Like when it's like smashed into something, you could make it it could be a grapefruit or a chickpea, depending on the weather or the pants. But that's even more why I was just like, if you're going to prove that he has a small dick, then show it to me.
Let's show it. Let's see
this thing in the harness. It's like, this is, how dare you bother me? Brandi Glanville appeared, I think, with the Page Six Boys, who are friends of this podcast, and did an interview with them about her face. She is still trying to figure out why her face has fallen. She is claiming it is not due to plastic surgery. She is claiming that she cannot even afford plastic surgery at this point. So we are waiting to see what the health update will be. I think that will also happen in January, perhaps, when she gets injectables. That is how I think that story ends. I think that parasite goes away and she shows up smooth as baby New Year's dairy air by Valentine's Day.
Maybe.
I'll save that for the predictions episode.
I want to see what the parasite looks like.
But like under a microscope?
Yeah.
Or like just her face? Well, what do you think it looks like?
I don't know. Like in like Resident Evil when the parasite's like grow so much in the person's body and like it rips their head off. Like that's what I'm picturing is like in her face.
Really? All right. I for some reason thought it might look, I felt like it would look like Leanne Rimes, actually, the parasite in her face. Wouldn't that be terrible for her?
Oh God.
Before we leave you today, we'll let you know what we will be talking about on the a la carte for those of you who have Apple subscription. One of the stars of my what is it called? 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Yes,
is a criminal. I mean, where do you even have the time? Yeah, well, she's pled guilty to a couple of things. We're going to talk about it. Amy Slayton, we'll talk about that. Frankie Muniz, really right on the verge of the Malcolm in the Middle reboot, is acting very strange online. We're going to talk about something called The Wicked Piglets. Highly recommend you join us for that. And Stranger Things is done shooting for good. And they had an emotional send-off as they prep the final season of the show.
Well, they're like 70 million years old now.
Well, they're in their mid-30s. Yeah. They're making the cast of 90210 look like infants when they were in high school. And they were very long in the tooth.
Yes.
Getting back to our Pre-Fixe here for the main show, Conan O'Brien's parents passed away earlier this month within days of each other.
That's horrible.
One of those stories. I know they're both in their 90s, and he released a lovely tribute to them. Google him and read the tribute. It was really lovely what he had to say about his parents. They were like 92 and 95 and passed away within days of each other, sending our condolences to him. And My favorite story of the week. People have been shitting on Drag Race for years because there are no drag kings on the show. Whatever your opinion is about that, that is your own. But drag king legend Murray Hill, who I have worked with before, is set to host a new show called King of Drag, which is going to be a show
great.
just for drag kings, which is what I think is the best thing. I feel like the kings and queens need to be separated for now. Maybe we can do an all-stars version, but it's different skill set as far as I'm concerned, even though drag itself is one giant umbrella. But Murray Hill, you know, if you watch HBO's Somebody Somewhere, he is on that show and is a legendary drag king and Hollywood memorabiliist, if that is a word.
Yeah.
And just an all-around legend and wonderful person to work with. So I am happy that he is going to be hosting this. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Looking forward to it.
He used to do Countess Luann's show.
Speaking of Countess Luann, what did I send you? Was it an Instagram or a TikTok? Someone
Dominick,
interviewed her.
I didn't even click on it. I couldn't bring myself
She's
to
dressed like an extra in Moulin Rouge, okay? She's on the set of a podcast with like a tiny top hat and a bustier.
And smoking a cigarette.
And someone asks her, if you had to give up smoking cigarettes or cabaret, which would you do? And she was basically like, oh my God, you guys are really giving it to me, huh? It took her like a full minute to say she'd rather give up smoking. She was indifferent about which one to pick.
I know. She loves them both so much.
I know. I love that Luann and I both.
I need to call her and be like, are you okay?
You really should.
I love her to death, but she's out there she's out there looking great and wild, and she's living it fast and loose. And we have to salute her, you know?
No, you have to salute her. I mean,
I think in January I need to call her and be like, what, are you okay? What's
There's happening? A swath of the population that categorizes her as a vocalist. That makes me feel great. So I think we might be done for our holiday Pre-Fixe. Thank you all so much again for coming to the holiday shows.
Merry Clitmas, everyone.
Merry Clitmas. Happy Hanukkah. Feliz Navidad. All of it. I personally will be going to London and Paris between Christmas and New Year. So if you are in either one of those places, I am absolutely receptive to you buying me a drink or dinner. Please DM me. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm not treating people. I mean, enough. I give you this podcast. You can buy me a tequila.
Dear Lord in heaven.
That's it. And we hope that you are with people you love during the holidays and that you enjoy them. Coming up after these vital messages, we will be talking about who we have fixed this year and giving them your welcomes.
Fahu Forest, Ahu Taurus, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day.
Roast beasts.
I love the Grinch so much. Okay, bye everyone.
Did I say Coach Beast or Roast Beast?
No, you said Roast
I love
Beast.
them both.
Turn protecting the planet into your career. Georgetown's 10-month interdisciplinary Master of Science in Environment and Sustainability Management program blends cutting-edge scientific knowledge with essential business principles, equipping you to address the world's most pressing environmental challenges. Learn to tackle today's most urgent environmental problems with a strategic, dual skill set that combines environmental science and business expertise. Ready to make a real impact? Georgetown's Master of Science in Environment and Sustainability Management empowers you to transform your passion for the environment into a meaningful, purpose-driven career. Explore the program at msb.georgetown.edu/ESM-podcast.
Hold that serve. There's no time for pickleball because you're going to want to hear this. Noom now has GLP-1s. No way. Oh, yes way, Fred. Psychology and meds. That's how Noom helps you lose the weight and keep it off.
That's really smart.
Oh, Danny, it's Noom smart. And they start at just $149 and they're shipped to your door in 7 days. Holy smokes, that's fast. But not as fast as my service game. Hey, who's ready to get pickled?
Get started with Noom GLP-1 today. Not all customers will medically qualify for prescription medications. Compounded medications are not reviewed by the FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality.
There is, because we're that fucking podcast. We are that podcast that has a Christmas episode. How dare you say we have off this week? Absolutely not. Play this. Hi, listeners. I'm sorry. You caught us mid-conversation. If you're not playing this podcast at your holiday table today on the day of the birth of Jesus Franchesca Christ, are you really a fan? Are you a supporter? I think not.
Yeah. If you don't have clitorally candles as as the candles that you light on your holiday table around your family.
Holiday table. If you don't have 2 Clitorally and 2 Subway dust candles as your fucking Advent wreaths, turn this podcast off now. How dare you call yourself a Clistener?
What is wrong with that?
I don't know. But, it's so funny as the holiday tour was going on and people are bringing their candles to be signed. I just kept thinking of all, and I'm not complaining about it, but knowing the two of us and like the level of trash that we are, it's like, how dare we sell these beautiful smelling candles? Like we don't deserve to be selling. We should be selling like bookmarks or fake
like
poop,
rocks in a bag. Yeah. Something utterly ridiculous and stupid.
Because we're signing these candles and everyone's like, they really smell good. I'm like, I know this is an actual product that we're selling here. With
yes.
Weston.
Yeah. This isn't just like, yes, correct. It's not just a random like nothing that you buy because it has our name on it. We actually believe. I said we actually believe in this product.
We do. I mean, we're like the type of people that should have like the fans that people clack at pride parades, like with our name. Like that's what we should be selling. But instead, we're peddling elegance here as though we are that. So yes. I guess we are. I guess the heart of the ocean has really turned us into
it really has
bejeweled faggots. So what we're going to do now is just look at the people that we fixed this year without making any predictions. Because next week on New Year's Day, yes, we do a podcast on New Year's goddamn day.
Period.
I mean, we don't record it then, but we will air one.
But you're getting one.
You're getting one. Yeah. A lot of other podcasts, they take 2 weeks off. Fuck those guys. Fuck them. We're going to be making our big predictions for 2025. So we're not going to dip into that here, but we're just going to see whose lives have gotten better after appearing on Fixing Famous People. Spoiler alert.
Sure.
It ain't many. It ain't many.
No.
We catch people on the way down and they keep sinking. So.
And if they would listen to us, they would be better.
Yeah. So
like
we're going
to the ones that do follow our advice usually do well.
We started off the year with Justin Bieber trying to fix Justin. Well, things ain't looking good right now. He seems to be going through it. He did have a baby, which is, of course, great news. But I believe we'll be hearing more from him. Again, we're not going to make predictions yet, but he seems to be a central figure in Diddygate. So I'm sure Ryan Murphy is figuring who to cast as him. Probably Jodie Foster would be my guess. Jodie Foster would play him.
Although Jodie Foster, I feel that he is now unburdened from like the secrets that he has had to hold.
Hopefully. I think that's the next step. Yeah.
I think that this will be good for him in the long run. Is it good for him right now? Like, I think he's in a really bad place right now, but I really think that this will be a net good for him eventually. Let's not forget that in this episode, Dame Erin Bagwell said they should have a baby, and they had a baby. Like,
was she not pregnant at that point?
No, we did not know at all. She said they should have a kid, and we were like, no, what? That's we truly were like, why would they ever do that? That's the wrong idea.
Well,
he's still a kid, blah, blah. But she predicted that they would have a child, or at least said that that's what they should do. And they listened. So is Justin Bieber a Clistener? He is.
We rounded out January with 3 people, well, 2 people, 1 entity for whom really nothing has changed. Jamie Lynn Spears, Playboy, and Katherine Heigl. I haven't heard anything from any of these people. So
no, not welcome. A peep. Not a peep from any of them.
Not a peep, not a doula peep.
I will say that people reached out about Katherine Heigl and said she was very great on set, was like, advocate for yourself. Don't like put up with stuff. Like, she was like a champion of like workers' rights on set when they were on set with her.
Well, and perhaps there was a smear campaign put against her.
That was it. Listen, she was a Blake Lively before Blake Lively even was anyone.
I think Blake's reputation is worse than Catherine's was at its peak, though.
But, yeah.
Nick Cannon, of course, pops up. Now, obviously, Nick has, the amount of therapy that he needs for the John Stamos on SVU, I Can't Stop Having Children disease, best episode SVU. He has said that was it recently he was like, I suffer from depression? It's like, well, yeah.
No, it was like narcissistic personality disorder.
That's what he has, narcissistic personality disorder. So,
and we were all like, we could have told you that. You didn't need to spend all that money at the doctor.
Yeah. Up next, we tried to fix Brangelina. We shouldn't even talk about them until the predictions because we're going to be unloading.
It's only back then we were like, like what's going to happen? Like we're hearing rumors. Now it's like all out war.
There are no Pitt children. They are all Jolies. It is now like it's gotten ugly. It's gotten very ugly.
Yeah.
Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, when we covered them in February, they were doing their annoying podcast. Fast forward to now, they're still doing that annoying podcast. Their exes are still dating and look a billion times better than them. They have won this fight, and Amy and TJ look foolish. They need to retire.
And TJ was accosted verbally by me and Rebecca Bregman at the New York Marathon when I screamed Lutelius, and he did not look at me.
That is correct. We fixed Gen Z. They're still Gen Zing. I don't think we fixed them, but I did learn all about Tomato Girl in that episode and a whole bunch of other shit.
I'm a tomato
grandma.
I'm a tomato girl at heart is what
all
I am.
Of it. Deanna Chang and Emily Foster double teamed us. Jennifer Lopez. I mean, I can't believe we tried to fix her in March and she has lived a century of lifetimes in between then.
And we pushed back. Like we were going to fix her earlier than that. And then that trailer for This Is Me Now, the film, before we even knew what it really was, came out and we were like, hold on, we pushed it back like multiple times to fix her. And then to think that we're still today, right now, we could fix her again if we could have fixed her 3 times this year if we really wanted to. And it would have been like new, fresh things to talk about.
Well, there might be a refix with her. I mean, we have a few of them coming up in 2025. Yeah. She might be one, but I'm just curious to see how Kiss of the Spider Woman is before we
I know. I really do want her. If she had one role where she like knocks it out of the park, like we'd be good.
You know what I need her to do? I need her to be ugly. I need her to gain 80 pounds for a role. And I need the name of the movie. Are you ready? I need it to be Fatless. That's what I want it to be. A sequel to Atlas, where her astrophysicist gains weight in space and can't get back home. And then she can't get in the escape pod
because she's too fat. She's stuck in the international.
But she's still wearing that sweaty ass gray tank top.
But it's like it's like
so
all
stretched.
Deformed.
It's like so stretched. I have a feeling we'll talk about Jennifer next week. Alec Baldwin, we tried to fix in March. I don't know that he's any worse for the wear. I mean, he's
every other week
he's gotten away with murder, but he's still getting sued. I mean, Rust has come and gone. It has been released. And, well, I don't know if it's been released in America, but it did debut in Europe at a film festival.
In Poland.
It's a big, well, if that tells you anything about it, Rust is big in Poland.
Did I tell you that our boots on the ground that will go unnamed in Santa Fe, never forget. Remember when we had live footage that was sent to my cell phone of them like getting in the car after like the court cases? Like we have eyes and spies everywhere is all I'm going to say. One. 2, my mole in Santa Fe said that there was like a candlelight vigil for the woman that died, like the cinematographer.
Okay.
And her husband, who is one that's like he's a producer on the film. Yeah. That we're like, oh, all's fine because of that. He, at her candlelight vigil, was like, we were going through a really rough time. We were like we were like separating, blah, 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 this and that. Like, giving this weird speech about how they were like getting divorced when she was slain. And like, it was so awkward. And my mole said like, everyone was looking around like, what the fuck is this? Like, this man is deranged. And so like, I think my theory stands that like Alec was like, how much money do you want to like be a producer on this now so that it looks like she would have wanted this movie to go on?
Interesting. I thought you were going to say that they were getting along so badly that he paid Alec to like kill her on purpose. Like, that's a stretch.
No.
I feel like I've seen this situation before when like a spouse dies and you are estranged and then it still falls on the spouse to carry out all the duties and stuff, but you don't want to seem disingenuous. Like everyone, I'm sure all their close friends knew that their marriage was in tatters. And so just to save face, he was probably just acknowledging it. And there's probably not a delicate or like dainty way to do that.
No, and I'm just saying like when the gravy train pulled up to the station, he was ready to get on is all I'm going to say.
And if anyone knows about gravy, it's Alec Louise Baldwin. That's for sure.
Sure is.
Moving down the list, we're in the month of March now. Jane Krakowski, we tried to just just make more popular. I haven't seen her, so I don't know if we've done anything bad.
As we found out, remember when I was like, where's Randy Jackson now? And then I Googled it. Him and Jane Krakowski have like a humongous game show on NBC. Let's name that tune. Yeah.
But does that make it big though? If it's not on Netflix or Bravo, it's not big to me. Or
not
ID.
To us, but like she's getting a fat paycheck to be on Name That Tune. Are we wrong?
I don't know.
Todd
Chrisley still in jail. Amanda Bynes still going through it. The royal family. Oh, the royal family. Wait till you kids get a load of our 100th episode, because our royal expert, Kristen Meinzer, is going to be here. We are going to, for our 100th episode, refix the subject of our very first episode, the Duchess of Schmuckers, Meghan Louise Markle.
We never even did the middle name game. I don't even know what her middle name is.
Oh, we should do it with her then.
We didn't have that yet, and that wasn't the main pillar of our show. Was finding out their middle names.
And without giving too much away about that 100th episode, we will have surprises in store. Medium Dame
metaphysical
Dame
prizes.
Erin Bagwell will be joining that episode. And if you've listened to the Patreon, you know that she brings forth the souls of deceased celebrities. I'm just going to leave that with you, knowing that she's going to be in our episode about Meghan Markle.
We're going to have a very, very special guest. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, it's going to make The Crown look like a backyard play. Okay. Moving down our list, we're now in April with the Fixies. JoJo Siwa, daughter, of course, of Jesselyn Siwa. JoJo not fixed. I dare say she's ending the year looking more foolish than she began it.
Remember when that weird dance was like all over every social possible? Like she's not being mocked to her face anymore. However, like
I don't know. I see memes about her still with frequency.
Sure.
When she does that dance, like I saw one recently where it was like someone asked JoJo Siwa to do some sort of Jurassic elephant at a rave dance, and she did her.
And she puts her legs out and does that like slap weird. And does a weird like the head goes to the side and she does like a weird thing with it. And this is the thing, is like she's like a great dancer and like that anyone could do that dance. It's not good dancing.
It's weird.
But what I will say is she was kind of pre the Charlie Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter rise. And she thought that was going to be her. And like little did she know that like these three titans were coming in to knock her right off her rocker. You know what I mean?
Speaking of three titans, the following week we tried to fix the Charmed cast and then one of them died. So does that mean we did a good job, or
I don't
at least
know.
She got away from Alyssa Milano, who murdered Shannon Doherty.
R.I.P.
JK. No, I mean, Shannon Doherty's a major 2025 loss. Like she's right up there with like Richard Simmons and Maggie Smith for me.
Yeah.
Like it's a major one. We tried to fix
no peeps from Alyssa Milano recently though.
No,
Shannon's
she better
passing,
not dare. She better not dare.
But you know what I mean? She knew to like just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We tried to fix Tori Spelling. I feel like it's only gotten worse for her. And I think it's going to continue to get worse until Candy gives her money.
Now she's basically like, I'm putting she's like telling on herself that she's putting her children in like horrible situations. Or
up for adoption.
Like CPS like should be coming to my house basically. So what she's tweeting nowadays. And she's like, but I don't have a house. I'm in a trailer. So I'm in an RV as our house. So I don't have an address. So they can't even show up anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
That's what she's like. It's rough.
We moved on to fix Nickelodeon when that scandal broke. Hasn't really moved forward since then. We haven't really heard any peeps from them. Perhaps in our prediction episode, we'll touch on what we think will happen next. But Nickelodeon seems to just be Nickelodeoning. No one's...
but they've cut ties.
The brand doesn't seem to have...
No, I think they're fine. They're fine. But they threw them away a long time ago anyway. And so I feel like it's... I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm not
picking my nose. I have a nose hair right there and I can't...
Are you going to have a nosebleed like Hassan? I left some of that in.
You should have. It's really
a little bit.
It was disgusting. His nose was bleeding. John Mayer was next. Again, he's been pretty quiet for the second half of the year. We're in May.
Yeah, do these people know that we talk about them and then they're like, fuck, I'm like, they got eyes on me and so I gotta
and then you know what? I feel like the majority of the people that we try to fix know that we've tried to fix them. They're like, you know what? I gotta lay low.
Yeah. Let me just
J-Lo. Yeah.
Unlike J-Lo. John Mayer, one thing that a lot of people DM me about was like, do you not remember when he said that his penis was racist, as in he didn't like black women? And I was like, didn't remember that. Like we really went easy on him and we should have like railed against him.
Yeah, that's sort of an unfixable thing to say now.
Yeah,
but
know,
in
like,
his defense, it might have been
100%.
said during the Obama years when everything on television and in real life, we were just saying whatever the fuck we wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime when Tyra Banks was actually relevant was a time when we were saying things we shouldn't have said, like what she said to all the contestants on her show. Rob Kardashian going along with the tradition of we talk about him and then they disappear. So
God. No, but don't forget that
About
he did pop up on an episode of The Kardashians like the week after we put out our episode.
I did not recall that.
He popped up and remember Chloe was like, will you like donate your sperm to like Malika so she can have a baby? Remember this? And he was like, I can't even like get a boner anymore because I'm
Is
so
that
fat.
was from this year? I can't fuck anymore?
Yeah, I can't fuck anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That feels like it was before COVID.
No, Dominic. That was and
Come back, Rob. Can you fuck now?
And I said that he should do Ozempic. And then Kourtney Kardashian, like 2 weeks later, was like, I'm going to do Ozempic.
We're talking about so many celebrities on the show. My mother on Christmas Day is going to be on Google the entire time because she doesn't know a lot of the people that we talk about, and she is going to go ballistic. Well, we tried to fix the Golden Bachelors, Terry and Gary and Teresa. Gary obviously has been given a bad cancer diagnosis that is supposedly terminal. And he is with his family. It is part of the reason he broke up with Teresa. I don't remember how we tried to fix them, but I feel responsible almost. I feel whenever someone gets ill, and we like Gary. It is Gary, right?
It is Gary, but it looks like Jerry.
Yeah.
But you know the other thing too? It's like
that's silly though. I know he's ill, but honestly, he should have changed his name many years ago. Go ahead, Chris.
And like, you know, with The Bachelor, for the most part, it's like they're in one year and out the other. The minute that the new crop comes, it's like we forget all. Like that's why I've never gotten into the show. Whereas like a Housewives, it's like I've been with, you know, I've been in the trenches with Tamara for way too long, and like I still am there.
So you do watch the OC then?
I watch all of them, Dom.
All right. A listener came up to me after my show in Atlanta and asked if we watch the OC, and I think I misspoke and I said that you also didn't when I just meant that I did not.
When you were saying the OC, I'm thinking now the show The OC with like.
I apologize. I'm thinking of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm a day one watcher. What do you? I've bopped in and out. I've had to go away for a couple seasons, but no, I'm a viewer.
Well, I was a day one watcher of Honey Boo Boo and Mama June.
On Toddlers and
we tried to fix them, and I mean they're the same as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, I don't know what to say.
Not popping up at all.
No.
He's lying low.
It means he's making a movie, and I don't know what he's working on now, but you know how method she is. Like she's hello, I'm whatever I'm gonna be now. Like who the fuck knows?
He should do a movie where he becomes a werewolf. And you just see like videos of him like walking down the street on all fours, like and like turning into a werewolf. Like then we would like it. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe,
like we would be behind it.
Is he nude in it? Will there be a nude scene?
Yeah.
With all due respect to Meryl Streep, I think that Bradley Cooper should have played Margaret Thatcher. I think that would have gotten him the Oscar.
Oh God. Or like one where he has to play like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like what could be really fun. If he's like I want him to play like, remember like, what was the one with Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin called like Monster? Yes,
Party Monster.
Party Monster. He needs to be like a club kid on drugs, but he's like washed up and old. And that would be so fun to watch him like going to all these clubs partying.
I'll tell you what. I want Bradley Cooper to play JoJo Siwa in the movie about her life, actually. I realize it would make no sense, but I bet he'd still win an Oscar.
Imagine it with that like Gene Simmons kiss makeup on with that.
Kesha, that was a great episode. And she doesn't need advice from us. She's just 7. She's out. She's about. I feel like she's back. She's back on the carpets.
She put a song out that was called something. I can't remember, but it's a fucking bop. I'm going to tell you. She put another, I couldn't think of what it was. And
she released a song with a title, and I'm telling you, this song is great.
Okay, she put out obviously the song Joyride like earlier in the year, which was good. But then she put out a song Delusional only like a couple weeks ago. And it's giving me the like more poppy and less weird songs on her album Warrior, which I think is one of her best albums.
It's a great album.
And Delusional is hearkening back to that vibration. And like when I tell you, it's a bop. Like she could come back. I'm telling you. She's just got to do it.
We are more than halfway through with our list. We tried to fix the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and it turned out to be an absolute abortion with a lumbering former supermodel walking down the runway to close it.
Lumbering is, I
feel like the brand's going to go away. The brand's going to go away because the show was so bad.
It was also just so boring and just like so ugly. When they used to do it in Las Vegas, it was like, it felt so expensive, and this felt like they rented the cheapest loft, like studio space that they could in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
We tried to fix Ryan Murphy. He responded by basically getting the Menendez brothers out of jail and saying, fuck you.
Yeah, I should stop doing shows. Watch this.
He's also,
remember these two idiots that killed their parents? I'm going to like throw them in your face every day of the year.
Yeah. I believe Ryan Murphy now lives in a camper outside of Luigi Mangioni's prison cell, waiting just to get to like chomp down on the rights to his story and
chomping
put
at the
Darren
bit.
Criss in that role.
Chomping at the bit, as I like to say.
The Cyrus family we tried to fix, and they promptly exploded right after that. Like Fire Rose Cyrus literally has brought down the house of Cyrus in a year when Miley won Record of the Year. Miley Cyrus is the most reasonable person in the Cyrus family. Cyrus family, what that means is you had a fucked up year. Miley is your leader. She's your de facto leader. She's not just a breadwinner anymore. She's the adult. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Drake. I mean, I can't remember how we tried to fix Drake. I just remember
I don't either.
Saying that he was on all fours with Birkin bags in his elbow and knee pits. But I mean, he is the unwitting star of Kendrick's halftime show at the Super Bowl. So we'll be talking about that in the predictions as well.
All eyes on that day. Would he come out? Would Kendrick bring him out on the stage?
Yes, 100%.
He 100% should, first and foremost.
I think it's a mistake not to do it. Like, Drake should come out and rap with him. I know he's not in the same league as Kendrick, but it would be the key of all.
He's just as famous. Like
he's just as famous, but he's not nearly as good.
Like,
I mean, Kendrick is considered an artist, and Drake is considered Drake.
Yeah.
The Osbournes, don't hear from them.
Yeah, because Sharon knew that she needed to fucking shut her pie hole, because we went fucking hard on her on that episode.
Janice Dickinson, we don't hear from her.
She was on House of Villains. Multiple people that we have tried to fix. Tori Spelling was on as a guest on House of Villains, and Janice Dickinson were both on House of Villains this season 2, as like people to like facilitate challenges for the cast.
We did try to fix Katy Perry with Gibson Johns around the time when she was receiving her VMA Video Vanguard Award. Her album was an unmitigated disaster. And
did you see the deluxe version just came out?
I did. Oh, so a deluxe disaster.
Yeah.
And she will keep trying to ram herself into our faces in 2025, I'm sure.
That's someone that needs to realize that she needs to lay low.
Tara Reid, we've not heard from her since we tried to fix her. Perhaps she's at home ruminating about which of our ideas to take.
Alive.
Yes, yeah. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were next to fix. This story is so different right now, I don't even know why I mentioned their name.
All we did is talk. I mean, the first 15 minutes of this episode is us talking about it.
We made it worse.
We will only be talking about this way more as it keeps going.
Joe Jonas. I know he's had a couple of girlfriends since we last spoke. I don't think he's taken our fixes yet.
I don't think he needs to.
No, he's beautiful.
He's fine. And so hot.
Queer Eye, still waiting on season 5's release.
No, it just came. I think it just came out. I think it just came out like this week.
Oh, I have not seen it.
So my cousin watched it and she said the first episode, she said, Jeremiah Brent does amazing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She said I think I can even quote her when I say, she said, Bobby wishes he was Jeremiah Brent. Ooh. And I was like, fuck. So I think everyone, like, all to say, I think it's like fun. Like, there's no like drama like about to pop up with them. Maybe in the coming weeks because it just came out, but like seemingly there's no like drama leading up to the release.
Kevin Costner, he's in the news a lot because he had this movie. I know we tried to fix him in October, but he's really been in the news because his character was killed in the premiere of the final season of Yellowstone. He wasn't aware that was going to happen, and so he was in the news as though he had actually done something when he didn't. He didn't go to set, and he got more publicity. But he did, on the press tour for his flop Western Horizon, keep peddling the myth that Princess Diana was going to appear in The Bodyguard Part 2. And Kevin Costner, stop saying that. That's it. I can't even scream "How dare you" louder.
We will be getting to the bottom of that momentarily.
Yeah, if only we knew a medium to channel Princess Diana to call bullshit on Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm.
If we did, episode 100 is what you all need to be listening to in January. Lady Gaga. Joker 2 Folie à Deux did not do that well, but her notices were not bad for the movie. Like, she escaped that unscathed. That movie, by the way, has champions like who are like, everyone's wrong. This movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Well,
among
guess
them,
what?
John Waters, my best friend Mark.
This is the other thing. If a movie is like weird or like out of the box and not straightforward, most people are going to say, I didn't understand. Like, this was a terrible movie, but it's like because they want to watch like the Avengers every day.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, if it has to be deal with like symbolism or like other things, like people
They
don't
can't
understand.
take
Like,
it.
people are stupid.
They can't
So it's like
take
if there's like my friend Eric that's been on this podcast was like, I liked it. He was like, there's a lot of singing in it, but I like really enjoy. Like, I want to see it. Maybe we'll watch it like before New Year's or something like that. But let's not forget my pitch. She did the first couple things of my pitch of like put out this song, immediately put out a music video, then do an acoustic version. She did all of that.
Yes, you have publicly taken claim for the right moves that she has made this year.
Correct. I know. But yet, did she then let that fall off of a cliff? Yeah, she did.
Right.
Like release another song. Hello.
Olivia Wilde. I loved that episode of this podcast. However,
Same.
There's been really no movement. I believe she's working on something else and we're going to hear more from her next year.
We talked about this, but I think you were the one that was like, she's like a director now. He's like, was it you that was like, this is a director. And so we're not going to see her in the spotlight every moment now. You know what I'm saying?
Remember when Amy Phillips impersonated Jessica Lange on this podcast?
Yes. And you and I peed our pants. And
several people have reached out. They have reached out saying that we should be ashamed of ourselves for not giving her some sort of honorary Fixe award just for that impersonation. So I would like to publicly apologize to Amy Phillips because it was one of the marquee moments of the year.
I mean, we did nominate her for best episode.
We did. We did. But I'm being told by some high-powered listeners that the impersonation should have been played during the Fixe Awards.
Got it.
You know, I will stand. I will say that we probably should.
Maybe Jessica Lange herself, aka Amy, as Jessica Lange, might need to. Maybe in the 2025 Fixe Awards, she might have to.
Jessica should present.
Maybe Jessica Lange,
like when she gave Sean Penn his award, and she said, "Sean Penn, damn hell walking." Jessica Simpson. We tried to fix in November.
We sure did. And despite all three, me, you, and Polly saying she should not return to music, truly 3 days later, she put out a statement saying, I'm going to return to music. It made me add another whole list in the Appendix C of the glossary of terms that was advice rejected, which was Jessica Simpson coming out 3 days after our episode aired and saying, I will sing again.
We're holding our breath because it seems like her marriage might be in trouble. And I think that she's taking care of that first before we see what goes on with her.
Has anyone sent you the video of her and Ozzy Osbourne doing a holiday duet?
No, thank you.
That was
I'm
from
making
back.
as much noise as possible with my mic. Sorry.
Yeah. It was from back in the day and it is absolutely horrific.
Dennis Rodman, haven't heard from him. Felicity Huffman, haven't heard from her, but there's still time. The year's not over yet.
Mrs. Dash.
Fergie, blessedly haven't heard from her.
We need to hear from her. Need to hear. Where is she?
Halle Berry, we haven't heard from in a minute, but I know she's going to pop up because she is a marquee Best Actress winner. She will be making the rounds at all the award shows. She always does. Let's not forget, she put on her Oscar dress again this year. It's been 83 years since she won, and it still fits.
I only talked about it the whole episode.
Zachary Louise Efron. I mean, we only talked about him 2 weeks ago, so there's not been much. I do believe his jaw is probably more severe than it was 2 weeks ago.
So many listeners have reached out to me saying that they have been in the orbit at certain points, and some people claiming he's not sober, some people claiming he likes party drugs, some people claiming that he has a lot of like body dysmorphia from the pressure to look so good.
Well, I believe that.
You know, I believe all of it.
Because don't forget, he was a child star, and that's pretty endemic with them.
No, he's like out of the spotlight because he's like does it on purpose because he knows that he like can't handle the fame of it, which is like really sad. And like when you hear that from a man, you're like, oh no, but like every woman in Hollywood deals with that every day, and we're like, they look fat now. Like it's like so upsetting how the scale is tipped in one direction so badly.
I know.
But
it seems like he needs someone to tell him that he's beautiful. And so, Zach, if you're listening, just send me a dick pic. And I'll give it I'm sure I'll say that it's gorgeous as long as I can tell that it's your actual
he'll
dick.
give you a one-man show is what
I would love that. And that was our whole year. I mean, we did our very, very best. And here we are, the last episode of the year of our Lord 2025. And I can tell you that Christopher, of the two of us, Christopher is the winner this year. He won more fixes courtesy of our guests than I did. The final tally was I won 15 weeks.
Beautiful.
The guests won 5.5 weeks. We had 2 ties, and Christopher came in with 21 wins this year.
Wow.
6.5 wins more than I. This does not include 7 weeks where there were no contests because we were just covering the Mess Gala or awards, and there were no winners.
Sure.
But
we're tied up then.
You mean year to year, right?
Year to year. You won last year, right? So
I won last year by the skin of my teeth. I won by 1 episode last year, 18.5 to your 17.5. And I recounted that many times, even today, to make sure that you weren't trying to pull a fast one. Okay. But congratulations, Christopher. You won by 6.5 episodes. Why is this? Here's some theories about why this happened. You book most of the guests and you rig it.
Sure. Okay.
Obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
I routinely say that everyone's fix should be to do Golden Pond and Regional Theater or An Evening with.
Or The Odd Couple. You haven't pitched The Odd Couple in a while.
I haven't. Yeah. Or perhaps many of our guests are homophobic and I am at least visually and audibly the gayer of the two of us.
Is that true?
You know what? I'm going to correct myself and say that I sound gayer, but you, by virtue of dressing better, will just look gayer than I do.
Oh, brother. Thank you for that backhand.
It was a compliment, backhanded as it was, but Grandpa's only in a black tank top most of the time.
You're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker. I like that we're tied up. So year 3, we can come right into it, and
it's going to be a battle.
We have something. It's a bloodbath. Yeah,
it's a bloodbath from
podcast. Day one. You know that my mom will text me and be like, "Congratulations on your win this week," and I'm like, "Of what?"
My mother texted me last week and congratulated me on winning the Fixie for the Judi Dench glossary entry, and I was like,
"Sent me the screenshot."
I was like, "I appreciate it." Also, I threatened the listenership of this podcast. I said if I didn't win, I would cancel the podcast.
And also, okay, what is it? It's what do you get? Nothing.
We should make up an award to give out next year. The Fixies is sorely lacking. We need something.
No,
one of our winners mentioned a sash. I think a sash is a great idea.
A sash is a good idea.
We don't even need to personalize it. We'll just send out sashes that say Fixie on it. So
I know that I have gone into places that sell sporting goods and been like, "Do you sell trophies here?" And I've tried. I have tried to find a trophy maker to make trophies for us to send.
What would a Fixie look like? Do you think?
I don't know. We said a vagina. But or a
starfish.
But a sash or a medal is.
Oh, but medal, I want them to have the Kennedy Center honors. Yes.
Yeah. But then but I do want them to have a statue like an Oscar. You know what I mean? We envision it as the Oscars. So it's I do want a trophy. This is a live dev meeting. What a surprise.
Speaking of trophies, we hope you all win Christmas if you're celebrating. And
Merry Clitmas, everyone.
Merry Clitmas. Happy Hanukkah. Felice, Holidays, all of it.
For real, though, thank you all for listening to the show. I know we say it all the time. I know we say, I went to, 3, other than New York, 3 of Dominick's holiday shows. And when I was taken aback by how excited people were to meet us. It's crazy. We love doing this show so much. I know I can speak for us both when I say that we have so much fun doing this, and it's still stayed so much fun. And the fact that you guys are all so excited to engage with us and join the Patreon and come to the Zooms and come see Dominick live. It's so real to us. And we love you so much.
And we have so much more good stuff coming next year.
Oh, get ready. I'm licking my chops.
Thank you, Christopher, for asking me to do this podcast. It has changed my life for the better.
Thank you for saying that you would do it. people were like, how did you come up with the podcast? And I literally said, like, I saw Dominick's show and was like, oh, this is the energy of what I want my new podcast to be. He's the perfect co-host. Like,
that's it.
Isn't it so funny? Because
my holiday show, when people are like, what's it like? I'm like, it's like my half of the podcast come to life, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
We love you all. Felice
we
everything.
love you all. Merry Christmas.
Mwah.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Merry Chrysler. Where is Shelley on Christmas Day? Will we ever know? Goodbye.
Shelley Christmas.